Welcome back on my channel. Today we'll try to analyze some manufacturing data, and with VBA code we try to calculate average production per shift. So in our data we have total production and we have shifts and the name of it. So let's start from the beginning, from the code, so the top. First we're starting with setup the variables. We have a variable worksheet, and this worksheet 1, this is the number of my worksheet. Then we'll see how many rows do we have in our data set. So we create dim last row as long, and then we try to check in cells with and Excel and the row how many rows do we have in our data set. So we're counting rows and then see how many do we have. Last thing will be to have shift names as variant. In our data we have 3 shifts. We have shift 1, 2 and 3. So this is the list of the sheets, and this is our variable. Then we have additional one, so shift name, total produce, shift count, average output, and long as long to have loop for our data. And let's start with our first loop. So we start with shift name, and then for each shift in the shift name, so we're looping through each of the shift name, we start with total produce equal 0, and with shift count as well equal 0. Then we have our loop for which we would try to summarize total produce and shift count. So we start with second row, because in the first we have some column name, and then we'll start to see if cell. In the third column we have name of the shift. In the shift name, then we have some aggregation. So we have total produce plus total produce value, and shift count plus 1 for this particular cell, which we find here in our if statement. Then we have end if and next. Last thing in this macro will be about calculate average if shift count is greater than 0. So we start with if statement. If shift count is bigger than 0, then average output will be dividing total produce, which we calculate in our first loop here, divided by shift count, which we create here. Then we'll have the message box. We have 3 message boxes for each of the shifts. So there will be average production unit, shift name, and the format and the average output. Else, if the shift count is not bigger than 0, we will have message box not data for and the shift name, and next shift name. Okay, that's it for this macro. Thank you for watching.